Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Sunshine Emms podcast. This week has already felt like a shit show, so please bear with me, okay? I don't know about you guys, but everything is taking so much longer to do, and I'm exhausted and I'm tired. Lately, I've been trying to wake up at 5 a.m. so that when I am training, it doesn't feel like a huge, crazy thing for me to wake up instead of sleeping in that extra hour that I usually do because of my short commute days. I just keep snoozing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm working on narrowing down my sleep routine. I'm really trying to narrow it down and perfect it so that I'm getting good quality sleep. Today was my first day of marathon training. I know I touched on this a little bit last week, but I really wanted to go further into detail. This feels like the biggest dream I've ever had. And I've dreamed of grad school and getting my doctorate one day. This feels in a way bigger than all of that. Why I think it feels bigger is because I've never thought that I was capable of running, let alone most movement. I have been the kind of kid that constantly fell. And maybe it's not just because I fell a lot, but also I just made really stupid decisions as a kid. An example of this is in middle school, I was on crutches every other month for one full year. It was to the point where teachers pulled me aside and asked me if I'm safe out because I kept showing up with crutches and a boot. So one of the stupidest things I've ever done to be on crutches would be the fact that I have been doing cheerleading for a really long time, on and off for about give or take 10 years. And I decided to do a cartwheel in my kitchen. For some context, we lived in this building that was made in the 1920s, 1930s, maybe the 1940s, and I may just be exaggerating. But this apartment was tiny as fuck in downtown Twin Falls. It was so old that it had one of those milk doors. When a milkman would come and bring you milk, you could open the door from inside and receive the milk. That's how old this place was. So the kitchen was narrow as fuck. Sorry for all my profanity. It's been a crazy day, but it was narrow. And I decided to do a cartwheel in the kitchen. You would think, oh, did you do a cartwheel the long way? No, I did not. No, I did not. I did a cartwheel straight into the counters, hit my ankle on the counter, screamed, 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 screamed. My mom took me to the ER, and we were there for about a few hours. I am the kind of kid that just did stupid things and then fell constantly. In that same apartment that I lived in, the majority of my elementary and middle school years, the stairs were also super narrow. I'm talking when my feet were growing, there came a point in time where I had to walk sideways to go up and down the stairs because it was so bad. Sometimes the staples would flip and stab your feet. So the amount of times that I fell up and down those stairs should be a crime. Hmm. So because I felt all the time, my mom would call me a klutz. And for a few Halloweens, I dressed up and wore all my braces. That's the kind of kid I was. And even when I was doing cheer, I didn't fall often in cheer. I usually had teammates falling on me. So I strained my back in middle school trying to catch a girl who was falling. Because I was trying to get there so fast, I like arched my back in a way. And when I caught her, my back strained. That was in middle school. I had to go to physical therapy for months and months and months. I've also, I have very flat feet, and that's been painful for me my entire childhood. I also sprained my ankle all the time that I have such weak, loose ankle joints, right? Asthma that is severely worse during exercise. So when you add all of that together and you think of running, that was never in the cards for me. Every time we ran as a team, I dreaded it. Anytime we ran together where we're like, we couldn't leave people in the dust, like we had to hold hands or like lock arms and run. The amount of girls who hated me because they had to drag me because I was getting shin splints and I was wheezing and I was crying because running and Emily don't go together, right? Yet in high school, I did the Great Aloha Run 2 years in a row. Did the Great Aloha Run in Hawaii. I want to say it's 8.1 miles. And I dreaded it, but it was something that I did with my dad and with my sister. But I immediately thought like this and 5Ks, that's all I'm willing to do forever. I'm never doing anything more than that. As the years have gone on, I've really loved lifting weights. I love being strong and feeling strong and hitting new PRs. And so I did that all of the time. I would bench, I'd squat, I did all these things, but running again, cardio is just not my thing. I've done, fun 5Ks and I've done obstacle courses in the mud and like terrain races and stuff, but I was never fast and I was always there and trying my best. But that was the extent of what I was willing to do or able to do because I thought like this is just not meant for me. And then I get a message from my sister in both of our group chats that we have with our parents. So like a group chat we have with my mom and a group chat we have with my dad and my stepmom, both saying, I think I'm going to do a marathon in Hawaii in December 2027. I immediately am like, what? 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 And mind you, she's done half marathons. This girl can run. She's done it. She had surgery on both of her feet, and she still was just out here doing crazy shit. Like, that's the kind of person my sister is. I'm not like that. But I saw that message and immediately was like, fuck, now I have to learn how to run, and I'm going to have to run a marathon. So I messaged and I was like, guess I have to start marathon training. And I was joking a little bit, but for those of you who don't know, my sister and I are 7 years apart. Maybe even more. It might be 7.5. I'm not quite sure. But we are very apart in age. And because of that age gap, we don't get to experience anything for the first time anymore. She's married. She has kids. Like, we didn't get to start school around the same time. We didn't get to experience something new together. And I have always longed to have a million memories with my people. The idea of, oh my gosh, my sister's never done a marathon. I've never done a marathon. What if I do the marathon with her and we get to do a marathon? And like, we may not be running together the whole time or anything like that, but we get to run a marathon together. And that's a huge mental race. And I really thought it over, and I've run, here and there, nothing crazy, nothing fast, and unfortunately nothing consistent. And I was like, well, I have a year and a half to train. Yes, it would be cool to have this bonding moment with my sister, but it would also be huge for me to do. Like, if I, Emily Black, the girl with asthma, the girl who wheezes when she laughs, can run a marathon, even just complete a marathon, finish a marathon, Emily, doing a marathon. If I can do that, I can do anything. And so I've started training. I started running. Again, nothing fast, learning to be consistent, learning to pour into myself and keep myself accountable and do the work. And it's really fucking scary. I'm terrified. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am terrified. I'm terrified that because I'm all talk most of the time, that people think that, oh yeah, she's gonna train for like 3 days and then that's that. I don't think you understand. I'm willing to make this my whole personality. I'm willing to do this shit until it's done. I may be all talk, but I'm also a person of my word. So even though I am absolutely scared shitless to do this and to try to do this, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to experience this with my sister. And we're going to prove people wrong. We're going to go to Hawaii again, have Christmas over there, hang out with our family in Hawaii for the first time in over a decade. And then we get to run a fucking marathon together. Something about me is that I love my sister so fucking much. The way that I would die for her. I would do anything for her. I'm probably closer to my sister than I am to anyone else in my family and maybe even anyone else in the world. Like, this girl knows me. And she's like, "Yeah, we've got this." So I'm not worried. I'm nervous. Sure. I'm really fucking nervous. But if she believes in me and I believe in me enough and I believe in her, then what's stopping me? I'm going to run a fucking marathon. So if you needed the motivation to try something new and to think outside of the box when it comes to your dreams, aspirations, and you are also someone that cries while watching marathon racers finish races and like hearing their stories and how emotional it is because it's 26.2 miles. That's a whole fucking journey to do. Maybe think outside of your box, think outside of yourself, and try something crazy. Why not? Like, what's stopping you from putting in the work and trying? When I realized that the only thing stopping me from completing this task and pouring into myself and putting in the work to get this done is me. It's me. I know that a year and a half of training can get you very fucking far. As someone with a kinesiology degree, who's a wellness coach, who's a nutrition coach, I know that if I put my mind to it and the dedication and the effort behind it, I can complete it. I'm willing to do that and I'm willing to show up. And if I'm willing to show up for something this big, like, why am I not willing to show up for myself when it comes to my emotions or my boundaries or my relationships? So this is a huge turning point in my life right now. And I hope that it kind of wakes you up as well. Why are you not showing up for yourself? What's stopping you? If it's just you stopping you, hold my hand. We'll step over it. We'll get over ourselves together. So that's kind of my thought process while I'm starting marathon training right now. And I can't wait to share how everything else goes. But I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll talk to you guys maybe next week. Bye.